and welcome back. My name's Chrissy and this is Stronger Every Day. So today we are going to get started with a verse and then we're going to kind of dive deep. You know, we've talked a lot on the mind and how that affects our everyday living. And so whether you struggle with a mental illness or not, the thoughts that we have in our mind, the choices we make, the things that we allow ourselves to be talked into control a lot of what we do. And so it's very important that not only do we have a good foundation in the Bible and that we have a relationship with our Lord and that we're talking to Him every day and we're reading and we're worshiping, but also that we maintain when crap thoughts get in our mind, that we maintain to put better thoughts in. And I've talked in detail about, as someone who has struggled with major depression disorder and anxiety for years, I have allowed people and the devil just to put crap thoughts in my head. I tend to be very hard on myself, and for years I just allowed that to happen. You're never going to get better, right? How many times have we heard that in our own mind? You're never going to get better. This is never going to be easier. You're always going to struggle with this disease. You're a burden. You're an inconvenience to your friends and your family. You know, nobody likes you. Nobody wants to be around you. This is going to only get worse as the time goes on. All of the crap thoughts that we have had in our head. And what really took me over to the person that I am now is controlling. You can control the thoughts that are in your mind. Now, if a bad thought pops in, you're gonna have to replace it. And I've talked in detail early in this journey. So coming up, it'll be 2 years in June of 2024. So it took a lot, because I would get a bad thought out and another one would pop in. I'd get a bad thought out, put a good one in, another one would pop in. It was a battle. It was clear that the devil did not want me to start this channel. He did not want me to grow my relationship with the Lord. He did not want to listen. He did not want me to listen to the Lord telling me to start this channel and be a voice and help give hope to people that are struggling with mental illness just like I am. It was very clear that he wanted me to back away, and I still get attacks from him because this channel is helping, and it's not Chrissy, it's not me, it's God working through me. And so anything that I can do to help someone who has been in my situation where you're tired, you're exhausted. Tired's not even the right word. Really, exhausted isn't the right word. You've been battling with whatever mental health issue that you're dealing with. For me, it was 27.5 years. And I still have days that it's hard. But I'm going to go ahead and speak it. And I've been kind of cautious about this. I'm going to go ahead and speak it that I am healed from depression and anxiety. I do still take medicine for the depression, not so much for the anxiety, but for the depression. I'm not against that. I've also talked in detail about that. If you need medicine, take it. Just probably shouldn't be your first line of defense. I think we like to kind of throw a pill at something and then not change the rest of our life, and that doesn't work. Medicine's not the end-all be-all for mental health. And so I take medicine. Obviously, I'm for medicine, but I've also changed my lifestyle. And just a side note before we jump into today's actual video plan is that for 27.5 years, I took some form of a pill most of the time. Not early on. It took me a while to realize what was going on, and still continue to struggle with mental health and anxiety. It wasn't until the past 18 months when I hit it from all angles. I dove deep into my relationship with the Lord. So now what does that do? So now what it does is when a situation comes up, I have godly knowledge to fall back on, to not say, here we go again, this is only going to get worse. You know, things happen, right? We had it around Christmas of last year. Nick's car, the water pump went out. My car needed a new battery. Our heat and air unit in the house was having some problems. all of this around Christmas, and you've heard me talk in a previous video that it was a tight month for us, and so the old me would have been completely defeated. Here we go again. You guys are never going to be stable. You know, it's always going to be a struggle to maintain. And what happened was I said, no, God's in control of the water pump. God's in control of the battery. God's in control of the AC unit. And you know, I've mentioned that those all got taken care of in various ways. And so it's changed the way I approach a problem when it happens. It's changed the way that I interact with people. It's given me a deeper love for people. It's given me a better understanding is when someone's having a bad day and they're maybe not the friendliest. Maybe you're at a grocery store or a doctor's office or any retail and the person isn't overly friendly. Maybe they just got yelled at by the customer before you for something that's completely out of their control. And so God's really worked on me to, when someone kind of comes at me, to understand that it's not personal. They're taking frustration out on me. They're venting, they're stressed, they're bubbling over with stress. But to see behind the person and see what's actually causing this and how can I help them, versus the way I would have handled that pre-June of 2022 is I would have hit them head on, basically, after a couple of opportunities to work. But if that didn't work, I would have hit them head on. And so it's really changed me. So I want to dive, long introduction, I want to dive into, this isn't going to be a super long video, I don't think, talking about wisdom and not being, just using godly wisdom. And so I'm going to read James 1, 2 through 8. So let's get that and then we'll jump into the rest. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. Let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask him, be sure your faith is in God alone. Do not waver. For a person whose divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind, such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord, though their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. So I love this verse for a lot of reasons. It's okay to go to God when we have a situation come up and that it's okay not to be perfect. So if a situation comes up and we need some godly wisdom, ask God, right? Talk to him. I've talked before about it's vital that instead of us speaking the first thing that pops in our head, to take a second and recount. Words cause problems. The mouth, the tongue is one of the deadliest things that we, short of a weapon, that we use to hurt people. And you can speak life or you can speak death out of it. It is crucial that we stop and think before we speak on topics. And if there's nothing that needs to be said, keep your mouth shut. I think we feel like we have to be in the know, right? There's the fear of missing out. We have to know. And that's been in existence forever. Like, I know it was a catchphrase a couple of years ago, but that's been in existence forever. People generally want to know. They don't want to feel left out. They don't want to be the oddball. And so you want to know that knowledge. God has really blessed me in that category for years. I don't care. I don't care to know the gossip. I don't want to know the gossip. I don't care to know the gossip. It doesn't make me feel left out. It makes me feel blessed. I don't have to process all that. Right? And so when a situation happens now, it's me saying, God be with me. And it doesn't start when the situation happens. It starts when I wake up. I pray every morning, God, let me be your hands and feet. I actually want to get a sign made to put over our bedroom door so that we can see that coming and going out of the bedroom. God, let me be your hands and feet. I get up every morning and I spend time with the Lord. It's different every day. It's a little less time than it was, because now that I'm working full time out of the home again, so now I kind of have 2 full-time jobs. It's a little less time, but I wake up 4 hours before I have to go to work, and I take care of the kids, our fur babies, take care of the house, spend my time with the Lord, and then get ready for work and go on about my day. But it's spending time with the Lord. I've told you, if it's 10 minutes or 5 hours, whatever that looks like for you. God knows your heart. I listen to my worship music all the way to work. I want to be his hands and feet. And so not only with people that I interact with, all people, right? So people I work with and people that are coming to that business. And so it's asking God for wisdom before a situation even happens. Lord, let me be your hands and feet before I even walk out of the house. And then once the situation happens, I have that godly knowledge. And so that is in my mind, it's in my heart, it's been processing through me continually. It's not something that I hear once a week or once a month. It's a continual process. And so because God is working through me, I'm able to handle situations better than I was before. Am I perfect? No, it still stings, right? If I get yelled at, or I told you we had to get a new computer because my old one, bless its little heart, it would start, but took a long time to do anything. I mean, a long time. And so we bought a new computer, and Nick is very good with technology, and I'm okay, but nowhere near his level. And so I was like, quit touching it, teach me how to do it. Quit touching it, teach me, And so, and he was like, just hit this, hit that. And it's hard, when things aren't running smoothly, but God's just really taken over that you need to walk the walk and talk the talk, and you need to, be my hands and feet, see people, love people, and treat them the way that I would treat them. And do I fall short? Every day, but God knows my heart. He knows what I'm wanting to do in his will. And so it's changing my mindset. It's spending that time with the Lord every day. It's getting me ready for that. It's when something comes up, I ask God be with me. Even if it's just a split second, Lord, help me. Just help me answer this question. Help me. It's something that I'm talking with him in my head about. It's not Chrissy's knowledge and Chrissy's wisdom. I don't ever want to come on here and you think, well, oh, she's got it all together. Friends, I have nothing together without God. I have zero together. Zero. I am nothing without the Lord. When something resonates with you, when you find this channel and you weren't searching for it, or when you find a video that you weren't looking for, or when I say something that really resonates and sets deep in your heart and mind, it has nothing to do with me. It's all the Lord. It is all God, 100% the Lord. So we need to be in a place where, and I don't mean to diminish this, but God is our best friend, right? And I'm not talking about like a friend to friend level, but he is always with us. He is always working through us, right? But we have to be the vessels for him, and we can decide not to be. And for years that has been me. It's that I probably really shouldn't do that, but I really like them, so I'm gonna go do that with them. Probably should do this, but I really, he's always there telling us. And so it's setting our mind on the Lord and moving forward. And that's been the best decision of my entire life, is just to go all in with God. And like I said, do I still make mistakes? Yes, friends, I do. I wish I could say that, I've grown to a level, but you're never going to be perfect here on this earth. You're always going to make mistakes, and we just have to know that God knows our heart, and he's actively working through us to fix that. But it's taking control of your mind and understanding that trials and tribulations are still going to happen. Doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not, you're still going to have trials and tribulations. When they come, it's checking with God, getting godly wisdom before you speak, and letting the Lord speak through you. What I have seen is that people respond to genuine people. And so when you're genuinely nice, people are almost confused, because that's not what we interact with a lot anymore, right? It's the world we live in is very stressed, and we have go. We have things to do on top of things to do on top of things to do. It's all about moving forward, not necessarily in a great way, but it's taking our time and realizing that if we are in control, if we let God be in control of our minds, we can do that two ways. We can be in control, which means people and the devil are in control, or we can allow God to be. And there's times that I'll catch myself kind of going down a rabbit hole, and I'll have to stop and say, no ma'am, that's not your concern. You don't need to be thinking about that. And I'll have to put my mind on something else. And it took, I remember the first couple, 3 weeks to a month, I was exhausted just from changing all of the crap thoughts in my head to positive ones. That's how negative my mind had gotten. And to be honest, I didn't see it. I knew, obviously, right? When you start hearing those thoughts of it's never going to get better, it's always going to be this way, you know deep down that that's a negative thought and you shouldn't be thinking that. But I never really understood how negative I had become in my thinking. And anytime something that didn't go my way, it was almost, I didn't give any grace. It was not that they did it intentionally, but I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? It's completely changing my mind. And here's the thing: if I'm too naive with a situation, or if I choose to believe the best in a situation or the best of somebody and I'm wrong, oh well. You know, oh well. I didn't live with the month leading up to that of just being negative all the time. Yes, I got burnt. Oh well, you know. I would rather look at a situation and have a positive attitude about it and think positive thoughts about the other people involved and their genuine want to be involved in that project, versus suspecting everyone of being lazy or not pulling their weight, or whatever the situation may be. I would rather take that month and be positive and then come out on the end and find out that, well, actually only 4 people out of the 7 were helping, right? Than going into that month-long project thinking negative the whole time. Friends, I cannot describe to you how much that's changed my thinking. So check out that verse. I know I kind of derailed a little bit off the verse. I don't know, just kind of, I guess God was putting some things through me to kind of get out there. But I always end every video this way. It's my heart and hope that you feel this. I've said before, if you need to hear this, just skip to the end of the video. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I know that's very anti-YouTuber, but just skip to the end of the video and hear this part and know that this is 100% true. God loves you. I love you. Your family loves you. Your friends love you. And we need you here. We'll see you in the next one, friends. Bye.